time to express yourself.
Yeah.
Warminster should be in good shape, I hope.
They just left.
And at this indentation, we come off the Center City Tunnel route and enter former Reading Company trackage.
This stop, Temple University Station. Watch the gap when exiting. Have your key cards or passes ready to tap at the turnstiles to exit the station. Next stop, Fort Washington. This is a wheelchair accessible station.
And you'll notice that we're slowing down here. This is due to traffic delays ahead at Jenkintown-Wyncote. Train 444 to Warminster is ahead of us, and 6345 crosses over in front of us coming from West Trenton. And here comes 6345 now. The Warminster train is further up the line. He should be clear of Carmel beyond Glenside by the time we get there. After the cab clear indication at Jenk South, up ahead there was an approach signal at Jenkin, but it's just changed to a cab clear, and you should pick up some speed. Well, train 444, the train bound for Warminster, is out of the way now. He's past Carmel interlocking, and this train is taken off. overhead bridge here is Norfolk Southern, the old Pennsylvania Railroad Trenton cutoff line, and this is the Pennsylvania Turnpike.
This stop, Port Washington. Watch the gap when exiting.
And all the station stops from here to Doylestown are D stops, meaning the train stops to discharge passengers only, which also means that he could leave ahead of his scheduled time once station work is completed.
Over to Doylestown, the next stop on the train is Ambler. Ambler is the next stop.
And thus far you can tell that Engineer Bill is not shy about using the horn to his advantage. He's really blowing that beautiful K3LA horn.
This stop, Angler. Watch the gap when exiting. Next stop, Headland.
Reading Heritage car leading on that one.
And that 6-car Silverliner 4 set that just passed by was train 5847 en route from Doylestown to Chestnut Hill West. The first car, if you look closely, is the Reading Heritage car number 280, and the fourth car is the Penn Central Heritage car number 401.
This stop, Headland. Watch your step when exiting. Next stop, Cleveland Valley. This stop, Cleveland Valley. Watch your step when exiting. Next stop, North Rails. This is a wheelchair accessible station.
And here we are entering Gwynedd Cut. This is a famous cut just south of North Wales. Have recordings of Reading 484 steam locomotives blasting through here. They sounded like B-52 bombers. Long ago, this was a tunnel that was daylighted when the electrification was put in the early 1930s. Approaching North Wales, we will pass over 4 railroad crossings: Main Street, 2nd Street, 3rd Street, and Walnut Street.
This stop, North Wales. Watch the gap when exiting. Next stop, Pembroke. This is a wheelchair accessible station. When exiting.
Next up, Lansdale Station Express.
Next stop, Lansdale. This is a wheelchair accessible station.
Now, the next crossing we approach as we get close to Lansdale is the Broad Street crossing. Early yesterday morning, a couple of stupid kids in a white pickup truck drove at high speed down the road and crashed into a Pennsylvania Northeastern freight train. The truck was wrecked beyond recognition almost, and they're in critical condition. It's amazing they're still alive, as I saw a video clip of that. They were flying down that road and just ran into the freight train like it was a brick wall. The cab clear signal is guarding the interlocking of Dale, D-A-L-E. And coming in on the left is the CSX Stony Creek branch as we approach that Broad Street crossing. And right here we enter the Doylestown branch. The track straight ahead used to be the old Reading Company main line to Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. Note the employee throwing the manual switch in the yard up ahead, likely setting up an arriving train that terminates here at Lansdale.
Next stop, 9th Street, Lansdale. This is a wheelchair accessible station. when exiting.
I've done a lot of railfan window rides on Septa with these Silverliner 5s, but this is unquestionably the most frequently traveled line that I've done these on. I've done these literally in all 4 seasons of the year. Doylestown is just a scenic branch. I just enjoy the town at the end. Doylestown is the county seat of Bucks County and a very historic, picturesque town.
Next stop, Fortuna.
And this facility is the only freight customer on the Doylestown branch. It's served nocturnally by the Pennsylvania Northeastern and looks like a pretty important facility for the railroad.
This stop, Fortuna. Watch the gap when exiting. Next stop, Colmar. This is a wheelchair accessible station. This stop, Colmar. Watch the gap when exiting. belt. This is a wheelchair accessible station. This stop, link belt. Watch the gap when exiting.
Now, up ahead, you'll notice a cab clear indication guarding the interlocking of County. Between County and the next interlocking of School is a passing siding, and sitting in that siding is train 5227 with some nice Silverliner 5s. He's en route from Doylestown to Newark, Delaware. Long journey. He's probably been waiting there for quite a few minutes because he had a little extra time built into the schedule to accommodate this meet.
This is a wheelchair accessible station. This stop, Champfont. Watch the gap when exiting. Britain. This is a wheelchair accessible station. wheelchair accessible station. This stop, Delaware Valley University. Watch the gap when exiting.
Yes, that's right, yes. Okay, right. Yeah, I didn't correct you. Never met her before. Oh, no, you okay? We were actually at the hospital visiting that stuff. Oh, that was just needed at least, right? What?
Play that funky music.
accessible station.
What's that?
Post them or you just keep them?
Oh no, I post them. I got a lot of them I posted. The whole system.
On YouTube?
Yeah.
Wait, what's your name? I think one of my train buff guys, he might have been asking about you.
Retired rail fan horn guy.
Yeah. He was asking about you. It's a younger guy. He gets on. He only gets on 705. He loves it. He said he asked. I was like, yeah, somebody if you're recording right now. And he asked me for two. I'm like, I don't know. I try to come up here and look, but
Chances are it's me.
yeah, there's a couple guys. A lot of them be on the trucking line,
Yeah.
Amtrak territory.
Well, I love doing the Amtrak lines because of the speed.
Mm-hmm.
But this is my favorite, not Septa line.
Yeah, this was like sightseeing, everything.
Yeah.
I love the Doylestown. But the Amtrak is my favorite though.
Yeah. I've done this in all 4 seasons. Snow, fall colors, spring, now summer. So Amtrak is, he's good at bucking these things up with the acceleration. He's like,
But the Amtrak tracks, they got, I don't know if you noticed, but the tides, the things in the ground, tides,
yeah,
the wood, theirs are
concrete, yeah. They
So
last.
their trains can do, on those you can do up to 120.
Well, Bill has told me he's gotten GEs up to 95, so
Yeah.
not bad for 50-year-old cars.
That was a rare one because some of them don't go past 70.
I know. Some of them have horns on there that'll give you an earache. I like these horns. These are really pretty.
Yeah, the Silverliner 5s, they got some
Yeah.
Silverliner 6s coming out.
Yeah, who knows what those are going to be.
Yeah. You know they actually spent $50 million, right, on a prototype.
Yeah.
They wanted to get, New Jersey Transit? You ever seen how they had the double bunk?
Yeah.
Septa was trying to purchase them. They paid $50 million for the prototype. And they didn't like
Doylestown
it.
is the
So they
last
didn't get
stop
money
on
back.
this train.
Yeah, see,
Watch your
the
step
Chinese
when
company
exiting.
didn't work out. Too bad.
But that was just $50 million down the drain. Because they made them, and they didn't want them. So it's like, what can they do?
Oh, God.
All right, arriving Doylestown. We're doing it 5:40. I got 5:34. The yard is empty, but it's not going to stay empty too much longer. Yeah, Bill did a fantastic job. He was a little delayed by 444 to Warminster. We were creeping outside of Jenkintown, but still got here early. The Fort Washington Express and local to Doylestown. What a ride. I'd love to hear Bill blow that 727 one.
Great at all, sir. I'd love to hear you blow that 727. Oh,
Well, 727's on Kenwood.
Oh, yeah, wow, what a waste. What a horn. Silverliner 5 car, 821. He was blowing that thing to beat the band. Bill, you did a hell of a job running that express on 3592. That was the shortest express train I ever saw on Septa.
3 cars. We did it. We did it. It's supposed to be 6, but yeah, 3 cars.
All right, so the 2 of them had the PCC cut out. So it was,
That's at least that. Well, that's what I was told. Whether or not they probably just needed the equipment or went into mileage, something like that. But I don't know.
so your record was 12 minutes early.
Uh-huh.
Oh, hey, at least tonight you got some sun. The last couple of nights you probably had lightning bolts and.
Yesterday it was horrible. I mean, the walls of water. I mean, I had GEs for the first trip and a half, and when we were going south on the first trip in, I mean, coming into Fern Rock, I'm doing every bit of 60, and you could see the walls of rain just coming in. And then by the time we got up here, last night we didn't get up here until we spin out at 6:05. So we're doing it 5:40. We got in at 6:05. We spun right back out, and then coming home, it was a mess. I mean, so much water. It just inundated the railroad last night. I mean, West Trenton was spinning an hour behind schedule.
Wow.
We were 30 plus minutes late at one point. So it was just one of those days. I mean, the heat. Last week it was the heat. The heat was messing everything up, and this week it's the rain. So, welcome to summertime in Pennsylvania.
Yeah. Well, you're pretty good at getting wet. Remember at Manitou? You were standing under the tree, and it decided to shed its weight when the train went by.
Yeah. That was. I was soaked to the bone. Yeah, that was. I'm glad I had the rain jacket and gave up on the camera because I didn't want the camera getting soaked.
That was a fun day, though. Good
time.
Yeah,
it was a good day.
Yeah. Well, glad I was able to see you and ride with you on that express with these wonderful pieces of equipment.
Yeah, you got some horn action today, too, didn't you?
Yeah, I'd love to hear you on the 727. Did you ever run the 727?
I have. I've had it on Kinwood, and I've had it on Norristown.
Oh, well, the Norristown, so you would have had the good horn at that end.
Yes.
Oh.
Yes.
Boy, oh boy.
I had it going through Doylestown. Last week I had 5s, and North Wales Borough was doing their 5K race, and there was probably about 3,000 people through North Wales, and we had a speed restriction, and there was hundreds of people at each crossing. So I was blowing for every single crossing. People were waving, people were recording. I was like, well, if I'm not famous now, I'll definitely be famous for that one. We were moving.
Yeah, you were.
Once 444s cleared up at Glenside.
Oh yeah, you cranked it up after Carmel.
As soon as we got past Carmel, right up to 70, we were, if you look at the schedule, we're D-stop, so that means we can depart ahead of schedule.
So you're D-stopped from Fort Washington all the way up here?
All the way up. That's how we got in 7 minutes early. The southbound 5227, he was on time. If everything goes well, we can move this express train.
Oh, great. All right, on Metro North, they're H stops, not D stops. But
not my railroad.
That's what Conductor Paul says. Oh, we have an H stop here all the way to Croton.
Well, you can tell Conductor Paul he's more than welcome to come onto my train. He can ride. Just remember, he's got to rhyme every single station, though. That's my challenge to you. If you can rhyme this express route, I'll owe you double the cheesesteak. I already owe you one. You got to come down here and get it because they don't travel well.
You got to let him talk on the PA system then.
I think I can work that out.
Oh, yeah? Oh, he'll eat that up. Oh, literally. He'll eat the microphone. All right, sir. Thanks again. Good to see you, buddy. Adios, muchacho. Goes a real pint-sized train for that express that we came up on. Man, oh man. All right, you can hear the music blasting from the nearby Tap restaurant, which I'll eat at in a little while. 616 approaching is 6594 from Philadelphia, terminating here at Doylestown with 6 Silverliner 4s, 6 wonderful Silverliner 4s. But this train is going to yard itself, and in order to do that, it'll have to split the train into 2 parts to accommodate the short yard tracks. So that should be entertaining. backing up, going through the switch at Doyle, and then he's going to pull the equipment into the yard and split them. All right, here he comes. It's going to be 3 and 3. It's got 3 in the yard, track number 2. Tying down the handbrake. Well, the engineer on this train that came in was the same one that relieved Bill at Suburban Station and got relieved by Bill in Suburban Station. That equipment made a turn out to Penn Medicine and Arsenal. Now cut that out. $25.22 arriving from Newark. Hurry up with that wine, waiter. I need it after looking at this stuff.
Hey, to those who complain about me whining about the Silverliner 4s, consider this. The great comedian Rodney Dangerfield, who was loved by many, made a living out of whining about everything, and it made the world a better place. So chill out, folks. All right, 7:13. This is 5231 departing from Marcus Hook. He won't be going very far. He has to go in the siding at Doyle to meet 542 from Paoli. Should be in a few minutes. Aside from nothing but Silverliner 4s coming into Doylestown this time of night, it's been a very interesting day. I was glad to have ridden with engineer Bill on one of those express trains. He happened to have Silverliner 5s. When you travel down from New York to Philly, you never know what type of equipment these trains are going to have. It's kind of a crapshoot. But, you know, I had a nice leisurely breakfast this morning. About 9 o'clock, I looked and I noticed that train 5304 from Bryn Mawr to West Trenton had Silverliner 5s. And that's the same equipment that Bill ultimately got on the equipment today. And he doesn't leave Doylestown for his job until 2:11 p.m. So I had plenty of time to drive down to Doylestown and catch him. And had a great trip, going from Lansdale to Philly and back to Doylestown on that express train, a pint-sized express train, packed to the gills, Phillies fans on it. It was like a 3-car train. I mean, can't get any tighter than that. But it was a good ride. We got into Doylestown with Bill 8 minutes early. Great.